I want to look back at some of the winners and losers in the portfolios of our investment committee. Steph, I'm going to begin with you. Ones that we haven't talked about yet. So one of your biggest winners was Quanta, up 20%. One of your biggest laggards, Zoetis, down 14. Can you talk about both?
Yeah, I mean, Eaton and Quanta are about the same themes, right? It's all about infrastructure and IRA, the spending bill, and how backlog and orders are actually going to.
Eaton was a big winner,
so
also, by the way. But Quanta, 20% in the quarter.
Yeah, no, I mean, because Quanta had a really great quarter. It lagged into the print. But I do think that the grid upgrade is certainly real, and you're in the second inning, maybe at best. And in terms of Eaton, I mean, their orders went from 2% to 7% sequentially last quarter. That's what got me to buy the stock, because the momentum is there for both of these companies. They are not cheap, so you buy them on weakness. In terms of Zoetis, I actually think that the Zoetis underperformance is because Elanco has done so well. Elanco is actually up quite nicely, up double digits in the past year. And that's because they have a new product cycle story. And I think there's this perception that now Zoetis has competition. Well, this is a huge industry. It's a $60 billion total addressable market, growing to $130 billion by 2030. So to me, both can survive. Maybe Zoetis a little expensive, and it got a little ahead of itself, but I like both very much for the long term.
All right, Jason Snipes. So we know about NVIDIA being a big winner, and we know about Apple being a big loser. But let's go elsewhere. You mentioned Caterpillar, and that stock's been one of those large cap industrial names near new highs or at highs. So we don't need to do that either. Netflix up 25%.
100%.
Not enough people talking about that move.
Yeah, no. I mean, Netflix has been a tremendous winner this quarter. I think for me, ad-supported tier is obviously working. Password share is obviously working. Their foray into live sports is a new catalyst, I think, which is exciting to investors. So up 25%. It's moved a lot over the last year. So for us, it's not a name that we're adding to, but we've obviously enjoyed the run.
What about Arista, which is up 23% in the first quarter?
Yeah. So Arista has been interesting too. I mean, cloud networking. When I look at AI and AI spend and cloud spend, it was projected to soften in 2023 and obviously exploded due to what generative AI and all that's been going on there. So that's exactly where they play. The stock's up 23%. I mean, EPS was up 48% last quarter, revenue up 21%. So I like this name. I think it could still continue to play well.
All right. What about Palo Alto? So Palo Alto has been an incredible stock, as many of these cyber names have been. But this one's down, surprisingly, in the quarter, down 4%.
Yeah. So what's interesting about Palo Alto, I mean, again, it was a strong quarter. I mean, EPS was up 39%, revenue was up 19%. The concern for me, and I think the concern for the market, was their guidance going forward. They have a new go-to market strategy. And sometimes as a stock picker, you look at that and say, wait, what was not working? Why are you changing the strategy? That's why the stock has traded back. And it's only, down 4%.
It was Aero last year.
100%. 100%.
Oh, well,
cybersecurity.
all these stocks were.
Except Fortinet, the one I own.
That's another area where people are watching now. As you progress into a new quarter, whether these stocks are going to, as in Palo Alto's case, sort of snap back, or they're going to be trouble ahead for some of these. Speaking of high flyers.
They're not cheap. That's the problem. But cybersecurity is a huge end market, and certainly a place where you want to have exposure. I think it actually could be just as big as AI, to be honest with you. When you have cybersecurity companies getting cyber attacks, that's a problem. And what you are seeing is you're seeing vendor consolidation. There's too many out there, companies that don't talk to each other, so nothing's really working. And so I think the bigger are only going to get bigger, and I think that Palo Alto is one of them. I think Fortinet is one as well.